Action. This Friday, we go to the polls and we have an important decision to make. We will have to decide who will be able to work with Singaporeans to make Singapore a home. Who will safeguard our future and bring Singapore to greater success? Who is the best team for the job? As you think about these important questions, I will tell you why you should vote for the PAP. Throughout these general elections, many first-time candidates have shared why they have decided to join their parties and enter politics. This is my 5th general election, and I would like to share you my story. I grew up in a large family of 9 brothers and sisters. Growing up, nobody ever walked alone. All of us pitch in, helping my mother and my grandmother to cook and other chores around the house. The older siblings would support the younger ones, helping them with the schoolwork. We all helped each other and progress through each stage of life. No one was left behind. Growing up, we did not have much means. But I'm grateful that all 9 of us were given the opportunity in this country to succeed in our own way. As a young man, I got involved in community service. I joined organizations like Jamia, Muiz, Mendaki, and the Association of Muslim Professionals. The idea of helping one another, of giving to those who have less, have always been a part of me. It is who I am. And so when the opportunity came to join politics, because I wanted to help people at the national level, I decided to jump in. It has been my privilege, friends, to serve my residents and my country. And I believe my colleagues and I can continue to contribute to society and make a difference to people's lives. For I believe that Singapore must be a place where no one is left behind, where everyone has the opportunity to do well in life. Residents of Jalan Besar, for the past 18 years, I have been working with the grassroots and volunteers to serve you and your families. In the last 4 years, I have visited every family in Kolam Air. And in the last 9 days, my colleagues and I have revisited every household. My team and I have been walking the ground, gathering feedback and acting on your concerns. And we will continue to do so because that is how we can understand your needs. We are always thinking, planning, working on ways to make Jalan Besar a better home for all of us. So just look around you and you can see that there are many new facilities and services that we've introduced. You may have seen that I was on bus 140. It wasn't the first time I took the bus. I've taken the bus several times because it was a service that everybody wanted. Jalan Besar is a mature estate and it's important that we upgrade the facilities, the infrastructure, transport services. Upgrading not for the sake of upgrading, but to improve the quality of life of our residents. We work to make it easier for our seniors to move around. You've heard what Lilinyo said that she's doing in Kereta Air Kim Seng. And we will strive to make it more convenient for families to get to school and work. And we seek to make Jalan Besar a tight-knit community where everyone enjoys coming home, where children can grow up safe and happy. That is why we have a master plan for the next 5 years to make Jalan Besar our kampong in the city. The PAP is about action, meaningful, carefully thought out action that works for your benefit for the sake of all Singaporeans. So just as we have a master plan for Jalan Besar, the PAP also has plans for Singapore. Plans that will be put into action. Without a doubt, I can tell you, we are forward-looking and the NIS has outlined some of those programs that the PAP government have introduced. We have schemes and initiatives that help Singaporeans to prepare for the future. We have long-term programs to cater to the future needs of Singaporeans. We will ensure that this little red dot continues to work and that we will have a future. That was how our founding PAP leaders and our pioneer generation built Singapore. And with your support, we will continue to build on the legacy of integrity, pragmatic leadership, and visionary planning to provide opportunities for all Singaporeans. Not just for the next 5 years, but for future generations of Singaporeans. Friends, good governance is not about making empty promises based on the populist wish list, pursuing ideals with no consideration of current realities, or fiery speeches which are all talk but no action. Good leadership is not about enthralling voters with a fantasy that you can have it all, that there are no trade-offs, no hard work involved in nation building. Compassion and empathy are not just about giving handouts, but about giving people a leg up. Democracy is not about giving people all the freedom to do what they like, but creating the conditions that allow us to deliberate and figure how to improve people's lives. My fellow Singaporeans, the needs of Singaporeans today are very different from those 50 years ago. We recognize that. Changing circumstances, trade-offs, unexpected consequences are all part and parcel of governing. We will review and adjust policies and programs. But what has not changed is the PAP's fundamental and enduring values of honesty and integrity, of having a clean and corrupt-free government and looking after the interests of every Singaporean. The government has been listening to you, trying to understand your worries and challenges and working with you to address your changing needs and expectations. And in the midst of all these challenges and changes, I can sincerely tell you the PAP is deeply committed to one simple guiding principle. Whatever we do must ultimately improve the quality of life of Singaporeans and be for the good of Singapore's future. The PAP firmly believes that the success of our democracy depends on having a shared understanding and a vision of what we stand for as a nation. And we cannot arrive at such a consensus in an atmosphere where people filter all arguments through ideological lenses that disregard the wider national or international context in which we live in. There is a tendency to want more and wanting them faster and faster. But good faith, consideration, and the engagement on the different points of view take time. We cannot afford to be seduced by the idea that there are no consequences to every action that we take. My fellow Singaporeans and residents of Jalan Besar, to work for the interests of Singapore, we need your strong support. We cannot do this alone. This year, we rightly celebrated our past achievements, but the work is not done. Far from it. All of us need to work together to lead Singapore to a better future. We will build on the achievements and the advantages that our leaders have given us to bring greater opportunities to you and to Singapore. The PAP government will continue to do its best to hear your views, understand your needs, and to create the conditions for you to follow your dreams. We will work with you to construct our national policies so that no one will be denied opportunities because of his or her background. We will put our hearts and our minds into helping every community to push forward. We will continue this journey of building a better Singapore for all. My fellow Singaporeans and residents of Jalan Besar, this general election is an important election. You are voting for political leaders who will take you and Singapore into the future. Leon Pereira of the WP says that this election is about the PAP. I agree with him. The WP's campaign has been all about the PAP and not the WP. They talk about not being frightened because the PAP will remain in power and do the heavy lifting. Indeed, the WP argues that they are empowering you by weakening the PAP. My friends, their story is about the PAP because they have nothing to show for the 4 years they have been in Parliament. The WP is like the blue sky. It turns into the night sky in Parliament, slipping away. Friends, they are empowering themselves and not you. Friends, don't be fooled by their excuses. It does not take 20 MPs to table a motion or a bill. It takes only one MP and a lot of guts and gumption to move a motion and a bill. So you don't need 20 MPs to do that. You need one very good, very dedicated MP. So my fellow Singaporeans, the WP are empowering themselves. So vote for the PAP, not just because of our track record, but because you believe in providing opportunities for all, because you want to build a united Singapore where we can work together for our future, where we will take care of one another. We are with you, for Singapore. So come 11 September, vote the PAP!
谢谢雅国博士 ，Thank you。